So Antichrist will come at first with these gestures of peace and these ideas of brotherhood and of peace and of so forth, and people will embrace him. Adolf Hitler did much the same thing. You know, when we think of Hitler, we remember those black and white newsreels where he's speaking away and the people are sitting in rapt attention. But you need to understand that Hitler had rallied the support of the German people through an interesting turn of events. When Hitler emerged on the scene, Germany was in desperate financial straits. The people were virtually starving to death. Communists were rioting in the streets, and there was general chaos. And along comes Hitler. He seemed to be a voice of authority in the midst of this chaos. He spoke to the German people of being a people of destiny, and he promised glories to come. He said once again, Germany would rule the world. And he said that the Roman Empire would be revived and Hitler would be its head, and he would lead them out of their morass. And sure enough, they were led out of a failed economy in 5 years. Hitler built schools, recovered German pride lost in World War I, built freeways, and managed to bring a sense of pride back to Germany again. And he won the churches over too. Initially, there was a reluctance on the part of the churches to join Hitler, and he gathered some of the clergy together on one occasion and assured them that all would be well under his rule. And he said the church would be fine. And one brave minister spoke up and said, well, Herr Führer, we know the church will be fine because Jesus said the gates of hell would not prevail against her. But our concern is for the soul of Germany. And Hitler responded, oh, the soul of Germany, you just leave that to me. And they did. And the rest is history. And as Hitler began to show his true colors and he began to persecute the Jewish people, he persecuted Christians as well. A lot of times that's not known. In fact, sometimes people say, oh, the church cooperated with Hitler. Well, some did, not knowing what they were getting themselves into, but he went into houses of worship and removed the cross and put up the swastika in its place. And many courageous Christian leaders and Christians were also executed under Hitler along with the Jewish people. He was sort of a prototype of AntiChrist. In his book called Hitler's Cross, Erwin Lutzer writes the following about the enigma of Adolf Hitler. Quote, privately, Hitler prepared for war. Publicly, he gave speeches about his desire for peace. Privately, he enjoyed pornography. Publicly, he insisted on right conduct, no swearing, no off-color jokes in his presence. At times, he could be charming and forgiving. Many other times, he was monstrously cruel. He prided himself in his honesty, yet he reveled in his ability to deceive. The German people must be misled if the support of the masses is required, he mused. Hitler was a cauldron of contradictions. He could weep with tenderness when talking to children and rejoice over the completion of another concentration camp, end quote. Yes, that's what the Antichrist will be like. Initially, he will come as a man of peace, but halfway through the tribulation period, he will show his true colors. See, he is going to help the Jewish people rebuild their temple. And that's why many will embrace him as Messiah. But then, at this midway point of the tribulation, 3.5 years in, the Antichrist commits what the Bible describes as the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, referred to by Jesus in Matthew 24, and explained to us in 2 Thessalonians 2. When it says, don't be fooled by what they say, for that day will not come until there is a great rebellion against God and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the one who brings destruction. He will exalt himself and defy every god that is there and tear down every object of adoration and worship. He'll position himself in the temple of God, claiming that he himself is God.